All right. Hey, Joe fans. I am going to be checking just to make sure that I'm coming in loud and clear. It looks like we're getting some people into the chat room. And I'm going to head over here to YouTube. Nothing is showing up here, but it looks like I'm live on my end. So if you guys can hear me and see me, let me know. It looks like I've got a few people watching. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Just want to make sure that you guys can see me and hear me. So it's been a while since I've done a stream, so I just want to make sure that I'm all right. Cobra Island, hey, thanks. Gaz, hey, classic action figures. Cobra Island. Gaz, all right. I think that's everybody I see. All right. So thanks for tuning in here, guys. It's 9 o'clock on a Monday, not my usual time for doing stuff like this, but I planned on doing this yesterday, but something came up, so I had to do it tonight. Tonight, I'm going to be going over some G.I. Joe news, but first, I have a couple updates. And the first one is that I have enabled Super Chat for this channel. So what that means is, from what I understand, you should be able to, in the chat on YouTube, have the option to do a Super Chat. That is, you can donate any dollar amount, $1 to whatever, I don't know if there's a max, any dollar amount, and that goes through YouTube to me. I get like 70% of whatever you donate. So if you donate $1, YouTube gets 30 cents and I get 70 cents. That's just the way it is. So I have enabled that. I don't know if it's working. If it comes through, I hope that I see it. If you do send me a super chat and I don't acknowledge it here in the live stream, please let me know in the chat. I want to make sure that I acknowledge anything that comes through like that. So yeah, I don't know if I have to be in a certain window to see that. And so that's one kind of a major update, I guess, at least for me. So hopefully that gets some traction. And whoa, hey, Gaz, it looks like Gaz has done a super chat. Gaz, you're the first one. You're the first person on my channel to do a super chat. Whoa, that is awesome. Thanks, man. That is quite a generous donation to the channel, guys. That's what happens. So if you do a super chat, it gets highlighted there in the chat. And if you want to ask a question, sometimes if there's a lot of people in the chat, it kind of gets a little crazy. If you want to make sure your question gets highlighted, you can do a super chat and that will be highlighted. I will definitely see it, shout it out, and your question will definitely get addressed here on the show. So, and it's really hard for me, especially when I have stuff to talk about, news or other topics, for me to follow everything that's going on in the chat. So super chat will enable me to make sure I hit some high points that you guys want to talk about. So that is awesome, Gaz. Thanks again. You are the first person that has donated through the super chat. I see one thing from so if I can, so yeah, see, so here it is. There's Gaz's super chat. Thanks so much, man. And all right, so classic action figures. It doesn't look like yours looks. You said $1, but I don't think it. I saw it coming through as a super chat. So I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe you had to push the right button or something. All right. So the second update, that was the first update. Super chat was the first update. Second update. I am planning on making this a weekly thing. So I want to have some type of content that, you know, what day, what time you can show up and there's going to be something. So the easiest thing is to do a live stream, and I'm planning on doing it on Sunday nights, not Monday like tonight, Sunday nights starting next week. And I'm going to do that for a few weeks and see if everything works out with my schedule. And then I'll really start promoting it, you know, as a weekly thing. I don't want to really start promoting it unless I'm able to do it regularly. I don't want to overpromise, right? So starting next week, Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, show up here again for another live stream. I'll be talking news, or I might have a guest on, like last live stream I did. I had HCC788 on. That was awesome. So I'm hoping to do more of that. And also, if you guys want to send in some topics for me to discuss here on the channel, you can, on the live stream, you can send me an email at gijoefan82@gmail.com and just put, live stream topic in the subject, and put your question or comment there in your email, and that will make it here onto the live stream. And Benny asks, any guests lined up? No, I don't have any guests lined up right now, but hopefully I'll get to that not too far away. So I think I might do a couple, one or two on my own, and then we'll see. So those are my two major updates. Hope you guys are good with that. Sunday seems to be a day that works for me, and it will be available after that. So if you missed it for some reason, it'll be available here on the channel. You can always come back and catch it later. All right, so there are a couple, I missed a bunch of news that I didn't cover on the channel. So this isn't really going to be, probably won't be news for you, but it'll be my commentary on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to that. And that's the real meat of tonight's show. All right, so so the first item of news is we've got some new t-shirts showed up at 80stees.com. If you're not familiar with 80s Tees, they're a website that makes or sells t-shirts from pop culture across the gamut, cartoons, TV shows, a lot of 80s, obviously 80s properties, and G.I. Joe is one of them. They've got some really awesome designs. I personally haven't really ordered from them because, to be honest, their prices are a little on the high side. They do have sales from time to time, I think, and or promo codes or stuff like that. But they do have some new G.I. Joe shirts, which are following the classified series design. So you notice right here, you've got Beachhead, and he's got his, you can tell this is a classified design because of that, that communication device thing he's got there on his shoulder. So this is looking pretty good. I prefer darker colors, or, black is always a classic one. You've got the character right there. And sometimes I don't always need to have the G.I. Joe logo plastered, huge. Just having a character like this works for me. So, and I like having characters that are not, the mainstays like Duke, Snake Eyes, Scarlet. Having some other characters in the mix, I think, is really awesome. So I'm just seeing, might be having a little connection issue, guys. So let me know if I'm coming in and out. So usually my internet's pretty good, but every once in a while it gets a little choppy. Just let me know if I start freezing up on you guys. So we've got Beachhead in there, which looks pretty good. And Gaz says, and he has a beret too. Yes, he does have. You'll notice on his left shoulder there, he's got that red beret that the classified figure comes with. And so he is not the only one. We've also got Major Blood. We have not seen, the only thing for classified that we've seen of Major Blood is a little tiny image of him on that artwork, the group shot artwork. And this is the first really good look at what I'm assuming is going to be the classified version of Major Blood. And I think he's looking really cool. He's obviously recognizable as Blood. He's got the dog tags. He's got the helmet, the mustache. He doesn't have an eye patch. He's not wearing an eye patch. It looks like it could be some type of targeting system, maybe for his, his missile. And it looks like his arm maybe robotic. There's a question whether it's a fully, Major Blood is always a question. Is it a fully robotic arm? Is it partially robotic? Is it just armor on the outside? To me, this looks kind of like a, cybernetic arm, which I prefer. I kind of like that angle with him. But this design looks awesome, in my opinion. I think it looks great. And okay, wanted to make sure I didn't miss. Classic action figures. Oh, so you're talking about the figure. So the figure, they have not released any images for the classified figure yet. This is the only thing we've seen potentially classified figure related. And this is not a Target exclusive, this t-shirt, which is a good thing. So that's Major Blood. Major Blood is one of the underutilized majorly underutilized characters, in my opinion. So I'm really happy to see him getting some love here. Another one, Scarlet. Pretty nice image here. We've seen Scarlet before, so nothing too new there. And Zartan. This is based on the classified look, and he's looking pretty sinister. I like his neon green eyes he's got. You really pinpoint there on his face. I do have the Zartan figure, classified figure is on the way. I'm expecting to receive that at any point, and you'll see a review for that here on the channel. But Zartan is one of those. So you've got Beachhead, Major Blood, Scarlet, and Zartan, and I'm assuming there will be more added to that using this artwork. And I believe this is new artwork. I don't remember seeing Zartan, Scarlet, or Major Blood, actually, or Beachhead. I don't remember seeing this artwork anywhere else. I could be wrong. It could show up. It could be on something else, but I don't remember seeing it anywhere else. Next, we've got a new 6-inch figure of Destro, from Mezco. Mezco is a higher end action figure company. If you're not familiar with them, they produce highly detailed and articulated action figures at a premium level, at a premium price. This is their first foray into G.I. Joe. They acquired the G.I. Joe license, and this is their first entry into that line, and this is Destro. This was the first image I saw for the figure, and I got to be honest, I was a little scared with the face. I'm not a huge fan of this face sculpt. It doesn't scream Destro to me. It looks like a Jokerized version of Destro. If Destro got hit with some Joker gas. So I'm not a huge fan of that head sculpt. But since the news came out, this is a couple weeks ago that this was revealed. But since then, they've released some more images, and we have seen this head sculpt, which I really like. This is a more traditional head sculpt, like you see Sunbow. Sunbow had the sort of almost painted on look, like the metal was a part of his skin. And somewhat in the comic kind of rode the fence a little bit. But Sunbow was definitely like skin tight metal there, and he's got a very dour expression on his face. And this is how the figure looked. The figure Mezco makes the figures with cloth outfits. This is not all hard plastic. This will be a soft material, that black that you see. The boots and the gloves and the belt, those will be regular plastic or something besides the cloth material. Now, I have not purchased any Mezco figures, so I can't really speak from experience of owning one, but from what I've heard, this is how they produce all their figures, and these are really, really detailed, really articulated, and very nice. I've heard a lot of good things about what Mezco does, and they've released a lot of images. This is the third head sculpt that comes with the figure, an alternate head. This one looks a lot like the original card art and also the 50th anniversary and now the retro line figures of Destro that we have seen. I like this head sculpt too. I've kind of warmed up to this look for Destro, the more helmeted version versus the Sunbow skin tight one, and he's looking very ominous here. You'll notice the collar is very classified looking. It looks more like a armored piece instead of just a collar for decoration on his uniform, and you'll see details on his gloves. He's got the wrist rockets, and a couple more images here. We've got that Sunbow one. This is probably, if I had the figure, this is probably the one that I would use to display him with. This one, he's got the jewel, the red jewel, and he comes with quite a bit of accessories here. So in this image, you see him with his classic briefcase, Cobra logo. I'm always kind of hesitant to really embrace having Destro with the Cobra logo on his briefcase. I kind of prefer the Mars logo, but that's just me. So you'll notice here in this image, it says includes Cobra issued briefcase. So this briefcase was given to him by Cobra. So, all right, that makes sense. With removable accessories and light up function. So you might see there's a better image later on, but you can see that little thing in there actually lights up. I believe it's an LED thing. And here he is with some blast effects from his wrist rockets. So he comes with some blast effects, which is really cool. Here he is again in that classic artwork head sculpt. And again, and just looking really cool with the Cobra flag there. All right, now this really highlights everything you're going to get with this figure. All three head sculpts, 2 out of the 3 I think are really awesome. I could really do without that Joker middle grinning one. That looks kind of creepy, actually. Blast effects for his wrist rockets, and those are removable. You can have either that or the regular wrist rockets without being fired. And it says here it comes with a rifle with 2 removable magazines, group of missiles, attaches to gauntlet, missile with blast effects, attaches to gauntlet, removable necklace, and 3 interchangeable head portraits, 12 interchangeable hands. If you ever thought that your action figures did not come with enough hands, Mezco has answered your prayers and given you 12 different hands to choose from. And below that, it comes with a 112 collective display. I believe that's this black circle with the Cobra logo on it. An adjustable posing post. I believe that's this kind of clear plastic thing here. You can help him pose. A pistol with 2 removable magazines and 2 interchangeable thigh holsters. So that's there on the red. So this is quite a bit of stuff that you get for your money, and I'm sure you guys are might be wondering what the price tag is on a figure like this. If you're not familiar, this figure costs around $100, which to a lot of Joe fans who are notoriously on the cheap side, this automatically disqualifies him from any consideration of being purchased. And I can understand that. But you've also got to understand this is a much higher quality item than you're going to get from Hasbro or a lot of other companies that are making it at a lower price. So as of right now, Hasbro isn't producing anything like this at this price. So the other thing is, from what I've heard, is it's really likely that they're going to add more figures to this line, but you're probably only going to get 1, maybe 2 figures in this line per year. And Mezco is notorious for announcing a figure and then it taking forever for that figure to come out. And I believe this figure is actually up for pre-order now, and I think it's on their website, and I pretty sure Big Bad Toy Store has this guy up for pre-order as well, but it's not coming out. I believe it's not coming out till next year, 2022. So you've got a while before. And this might be the only figure they produce for next year. And then next year they might have a preview for, another figure. Snake Eyes probably will be the next figure, I would assume. Snake Eyes ends up in every line that anyone produces for G.I. Joe. So I think I have one other. So this is a look at his weapon that is modular. It comes apart. You can put it back together, and multiple assembly options. So there you go. A ton of options for this classic action figure. So they should have done a Sunbow head instead of the grinning head. So they kind of did do that. Classic Action Figures also says, I hope they do a Cobra Commander and a Cobra Trooper. They most likely will. They'll probably follow every G.I. Joe line that comes out pretty much starts with the same figures at the top. The classic ones for Cobra, it's Cobra Commander, Baroness, Destro, the inevitable Cobra Trooper, Cobra Viper, and so on. For G.I. Joe, it's Snake Eyes, Duke, Scarlet, Roadblock. Gaz says, I'll get one if they make a Shockwave. You've got a while before I think Shockwave will show up, but I'm sure he would look awesome. And I don't remember if I said this is a 6-inch figure. So this is potentially in scale with the classified figures. So I was surprised when I heard that Mezco was doing this, because it's really in the same scale as figures that Hasbro is already doing. I'm probably not going to be jumping onto this train because of, one, the price is a little high for me, and two, I've already got my 6-inch classified Destro, and that's really good enough for me. Now, seeing this other head sculpt, the the armored mask looking one, I would like to see that make an appearance in the classified line, which is something I hadn't thought of. So maybe Hasbro will take a cue from that, and we'll see a potentially new head sculpt released for a Destro figure down the line in the classified line. So a higher end, and it's always good. I think it's always good to see G.I. Joe represented in other forms. It's good for the brand. It's getting out there. You've got Mezco collectors, people that collect only Mezco, and that's it. They might see this, and they may not have purchased anything G.I. Joe related since they were a kid. They might not even have thought about it. And seeing this might spark something in them. They might pre-order this, and they think, oh, let me, what's going on with G.I. Joe? And then they might discover everything that's going on with G.I. Joe. There's a movie coming out, stuff that they might not even realize. So I think it's good for the brand in general. Even if it's not for you, it's for somebody. And I think it's good. All right. So that was Mezco Destro. Let me just check the chat. Okay. Cobra Island says, how about the guys like Spirit, Mutt, or Shipwreck? The guys with animals and make the animals to go with them. I think it will be cool. I agree. Those are all great suggestions, which I'm sure if the line, I don't know how long Mezco continues to make licensed figures. So maybe, it'd be a long time considering they only make 1 or 2 figures per line per year. It'll be a long time before we get some of the 2nd and 3rd tier characters. Hey, Chris. And of course, Chris, our #1 Budo fan, would love to see a Budo figure. And I agree. I think that would be awesome. All right. So our next news item is... Oh, wait. Sorry. I have one more image here of... Destro's briefcase, and then you can see the light up function, which looks really cool actually, and it looks like a lot of the guns and stuff fit there into the briefcase. So just another level of detail that you're not going to get with a regular retail release. And from what I understand, Mezco is not available at retail, maybe at some specialty shops, but in general, this is only available online. All right, next news item. This is pretty big. This is Hasbro Pulse Fan Fest on April 9th, starting at 11 a.m. I believe that's Eastern, 11 a.m. Eastern. And I meant to actually have this pulled up, and I forgot. I forgot to have it pulled up. Hold on, guys. Let me jump over here real quick. I want to read a little bit of what this is going to be. Hasbro Pulse Fan First Friday. This is not. Here we go. So Hasbro Pulse Fan Fest, and you can go to Hasbro Pulse's website, and this has a lot of information. It has a countdown, actually 17 days until the event. So what is Hasbro Pulse Fan Fest? This is basically like what we saw last year for Hasbro PulseCon. They've got a couple brands that they're going to be highlighting throughout the day: Marvel, G.I. Joe, Power Rangers, Fortnite, Transformers, and Star Wars. So G.I. Joe is in that list, and they're going to be doing some reveals of some upcoming stuff. And the event starts at 11 a.m., but they don't really tell you what time each of those brands are going to be highlighted. So, which kind of stinks, because I'm really only interested in watching the G.I. Joe panel. I might pick up what's going on with the other panels later. I don't really need to see those live, but I really want to watch the G.I. Joe panel live, but I don't know what time that's going to happen. So I'm going to read the description of what we can expect to see on that G.I. Joe panel. And it says, this is right on the Pulse website. I'm going to I'll put a link for it in the description for this video. But it says, Yo Joe, Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins toys revealed. That's movie figures will be revealed during this panel. It says, join members of the Hasbro marketing and design teams as they debut exciting new products from the upcoming Snake Eyes feature film. Get an in-depth look at the stealthy Snake Eyes Ninja Strike role-play toys and the latest additions to the highly detailed classified series collection. Plus, we've received intel that Snake Eyes himself, Henry Golding, will be making a guest appearance to unveil his signature action figure. So this is pretty exciting news. This clearly says that we will be seeing movie versions, movie action figures in the classified line, and they will be revealed on April 9th, at least probably wave one. And I'm guessing no more than, I'm guessing 4 to 5 figures. I'm guessing is what the amount we're going to be seeing. And Henry Golding himself, he's probably pre-recorded something, on his phone and sent it in. But that's exciting. Henry Golding is playing Snake Eyes in the new Snake Eyes movie, if you're not aware of that. But that is very exciting. We have not seen anything. We have not really seen anything about this new movie. So if they don't release a trailer before April 9th, this will be the first indication of what the characters are going to look like in the movie, which is very surprising to me. I think a trailer would have premiered long before something like this. And I've heard some people wonder if we might see a trailer revealed during this event. And I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think they would do that. At this event, they might just release it online, on some other day, but I could be wrong. So this is pretty exciting news, at least for me. I wasn't expecting to have this. I was waiting for a Fan First Friday. I don't think we've had one this year in 2021. We haven't had one yet. So, Felix looks like he's not a fan of the Hasbro Pulse. Is irritating. Just get figures out in the wild. Stop teasing us. We are not children. Which is, everybody is has their own opinion. So Felix, it sounds like you do you don't like to see previews for what's coming. You just want to walk into the store and see it, which I understand. I really miss that adrenaline rush of walking into a store and seeing figures for the first time. And that's fine. You don't have to tune in to these events that they have. It's just for fans. If fans want to know what's coming up, you can go. The other thing is everything that they reveal at this event is going to be available for pre-order at 5 p.m. Eastern, I believe, on April 9th. So all the movie figures that they're going to be talking about will be able to pre-order that day. And I just want to confirm here. Yes, so it's at 5 p.m. Eastern on April 9th. We should be able to pre-order those figures, and we shouldn't have an issue. We shouldn't have another Target exclusive issue there because it's running through Hasbro Pulse. So hopefully they've overcome some of these issues with pre-orders. So it'll be interesting to see. And I like that they're waiting until 5 instead of having a panel, and during the panel or right after the panel, it happens, the pre-order happens, and then it goes right into the next thing. So then instead of watching the event, you're trying to, scramble on your computer or your phone to pre-order something. So I'm glad they're waiting till the end of the day to do it. Well, excuse me. And Dagon says, haha, you said walking into a store and seeing them. Yeah, I mean, that's the way I would prefer. But to be honest with you guys, I haven't been to a store to look for toys in a couple months, to be honest with you. I went twice when the last classified figures were supposedly there, Firefly and the Viper. Didn't find them, and since then, if I happen to go to a Target or Walmart or whatever, I might cruise through there just to see, but I don't make any intentional trips there. It's just kind of a hassle at this point. So I prefer to just get it online, and if I get it, I get it. If not, then it wasn't in the cards. So all right. So that's basically it for the Hasbro Pulse Fan Fest. I will definitely be talking about whatever is revealed at this event here on the channel. So you can stay tuned for that. Classic Action Figures had a question. Hey, Joe fan, what are your thoughts on the Joe Mini-Mates? I'm not a fan of their look. I wish Hasbro would bring back Creo. And that's something that I did not get images for tonight. Unfortunately. So yeah, Mini-Mates, I'm really not too familiar with Mini-Mates. I'm not really sure how tall they are either. They did release some images of new G.I. Joe Mini-Mates that are coming, and they look fine. They're typical figures that you would think. I think it's Snake Eyes, Lady J. I forget the other ones. They look fine. Sure. Why not? As I said, with Mezco, you've got Mezco doing a high-end, high-cost item, and then you've got, I'm not sure who makes Mini-Mates or if that's the name of the company, but you've got Mini-Mates, low-cost, small figures. What I like now is that Hasbro is releasing people to make or licensing out G.I. Joe. So we've got products for G.I. Joe at the dollar level. You've seen those little Dollar Tree or dollar store figures for representing the classified designs. You've got those all the way up to stuff like this Mezco figure. And, having stuff across the board, like we've seen with Transformers, enables the brand to get into more hands with different budgets I think it's a good thing. So yeah, I'm all for it. And as far as Creo goes, I don't think we're going to be seeing Creo again. I think they tried it, and for whatever reason, it didn't work. At this point, I would probably prefer to see them just license out GI Joe to Lego and have Lego make um, the GI Joe construction blocks with Lego. That would be probably be my preferred thing instead of trying to resurrect Creo. Because if you look at some of the Creo stuff now on the secondary markets, very very high, and trying to complete that. I mean, I guess if they wanted to bring back Creo, that's fine, but they've really got to kind of bring it all back, I think, in order to generate a lot of interest. Okay, so I had another pretty big announcement that happened not this past week, but the week before, that I didn't cover until now, is the announcement that 3D Joe's is going to become the new one-stop online resource for everything GI Joe. Carson Metaxas was on the What's on Joe Mind show, the YouTube show / podcast 2 Fridays ago, and he went over the whole thing. And here is a kind of a rundown of a summary of what he said. The Ultimate GI Joe team up has arrived. The driving forces behind 3djoes.com, Joe Declassified, Rank and File, JoeIntel.com, and former behind the scenes guys at YoJo are officially combining forces. This collaboration will make 3djoes.com the resource GI Joe fans have always wanted. So he went into a lot of detail. I encourage you guys to go back and check out the What's on Joe Mind show from 2 weeks ago. And he went over, this is basically going to be a combination of all of this stuff in one place. And he said that he's been friends with these guys for a long time, and they went over all the options of what to do, considering what's happened with YoJo. If you're not familiar, YoJo the website was purchased by a company called Vertical Scope. And this company apparently is notorious for buying up websites or forums or whatever, and then filling them with ads, and then just letting them go, not updating them, not keeping them relevant, just kind of letting whatever traffic hits there hit the ads, and they'll take whatever cash they can until it's no longer profitable, and then it just kind of disappears, which more than likely is what's going to end up happening with YoJo. Right now, YoJo, I believe the last update on YoJo was done in 2018, which is now several years ago. So it's got no classified stuff on there, no retro line stuff, and nothing really for the new movie. So as time goes on, it's just going to get worse and worse. And 3D Joe's is going to become the new online resource. And when he was on What's on Joe Mind, Carson said he's already got a ton of stuff from YoJo that he's put on his site that they have given him. People, the guys that worked on YoJo have the assets, and they've given him pictures and stuff that he's already added to his site, which is awesome. And he basically said this is going to be a gradual thing. So, and he'll be announcing when new things are added, but if you keep going to 3djoes.com, you'll start to see more and more stuff getting added. And I think it's really awesome, really great that this is going to happen. He did say it's going to take a while, because if you've been to YoJo and you've kind of gone through everything they have, it just takes a long time to compile that stuff and to do it accurately and professionally and make sure everything looks good. So I'm excited. This was some really big news, and I think it's something that the community really needs. It's a huge shame that yojo.com had the unfortunate events happen to it, but hopefully we'll all come out better in the long run, having all of these guys combine forces. Now, I don't think these other things are going to go away. I don't think Joe Declassified or Joe Intel. I don't think that they're going away. It's just that they're going to be kind of compiling everything at 3djoes.com. So if you have never been to 3djoes.com, I highly encourage you guys to go check that site out. So that was my last news item that I had planned for tonight. So if you guys have any questions here, I'm going to try to make these live streams an hour long. So from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. And if you guys want to, any big topics that you want to cover, again, send those in an email to my email, gijoefan82@gmail.com, and I'll make sure to address those here on the show. So if you guys have anything you want to address here in the chat, just sound off, let me know. I'm going to kind of go through, see if there's anything that I might have missed that's worth bringing up here before we call it a night. Let's see here. Classic Action Figure says, I'm excited about this collaboration. Yeah, me too, man. I think it's great. So I like you guys. It looks like there's some discussions happening in the chat, which is great. I love having, community here. This is what it's all about. Having conversations, especially with other Joe fans, which, to be honest, it's hard to really do in real life. There's not too many people around, especially in my area. Classic Action Figures says, sad to see what happened to Yojo, but glad they are reassembling in a new Joe venture. And I think that's pretty much the sentiment from everybody, I think. Chris has a good question here. Oh, it's a wrong thing. Hold on. That wasn't there. He had a question for Chris. Hold on. Let me get it, because the chat's moving, and when I go to, here we go. Chris says, what are your thoughts on Slice and Dice being part of the retro toy line or the classified toy line? Chris, I'm all for it. I'm a huge Ninja Force guy, and Slice and Dice are some of my favorite Cobra bad guys, Cobra villains. I think they are awesome. Unfortunately, I missed out on their club figures. So if Hasbro was to introduce them in the retro line, that would be awesome. And also in the classified line, although I think we would probably see some redesigns for them if they were introduced in the classified line. We wouldn't see, all purple dice or maybe as much red in Slice. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think that they could be really cool 6-inch versions of those figures. Let me go here. All right. Hey, Cobra Island, I see you're asking about a collaboration. Yeah, hit me up in an email. Send me an email, gijoefan82@gmail.com, and give me some more details. All right. Dagon says, what will the first airborne trooper will get? You talking about in the classified line, or I'm assuming the classified line? It might be airborne. Airborne might be the first one. What's the other? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. The other Ripcord. Might see Ripcord, but not the movie or the Renegades version. The first version. I would say either Ripcord or Airborne might be a good contenders for that. Action figure expert. No, I do not have an Instagram. But now that you mention, this is something a little new I just discovered here. I have a Twitter. I mean, I just discovered that I can put this little banner up. I have a Twitter, GI Joefan82. I'm not on Instagram. So far, I found it a little difficult to try to maintain every social media platform. So I'm on Twitter and I'm on Facebook. So just go to Facebook, type in Joefan82, and I should show up. And I'm on Twitter there. Instagram might be something at some point that if am able to do that, that would be cool. If not, so I'm there on Twitter. And also I try to do pretty much the same kind of post that you would see on those platforms. I'll do a lot of similar stuff here on YouTube. So on YouTube, you can also do posts. So you can also see some stuff there. And let me go. Okay. You guys are lighting up the chat here, which is awesome. G.I. Joe Extreme. Not sure what your question is. If I like it or what. I haven't actually watched it. Now, Joe on Joe, the podcast, Joe on Joe, he's been covering G.I. Joe Extreme. I'm not sure if he's still, I think he might be done with it. I'm not sure if he's still doing it. He's doing that, he's done every G.I. Joe animated form for his show, but I haven't watched it. So I actually haven't been listening to him while he's been covering G.I. Joe Extreme because I want to be able to, watch it. But they have not released G.I. Joe Extreme on DVD. There are, they might release it on the G.I. Joe YouTube channel. There's a new official G.I. Joe YouTube channel that I believe has Renegades on it now, but I have never seen G.I. Joe Extreme, so I can't really comment on it. Oh, Dan has a good question here. Hey, Dan. Dan says, sorry I'm late to the party. Eventually, when your kids get a few years older, would you let them play with those Joes in your cabinets behind you, or would you just buy them new ones? So I have two boys. I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. The 8-year-old, despite my best efforts and despite some positive interactions early on, he's basically done with toys. He reads, he loves books and video games on the phone, or he's got a Nintendo Switch and he likes to watch people play and stuff. So I tried my best. I'm in the same boat with a lot of other parents. My 5-year-old, however, he's still in there. And even my 8-year-old, when he was younger, anything they see, it's pretty much available for them to play with. Now, I do have my vintage figures over. They're off camera here, but those are in a case, and I really don't let them play with the vintage stuff because the vintage stuff, I think, is more liable to get broken thumbs or whatever. So I kind of don't let them play with the vintage stuff. Some of you might not like that, but sorry guys, I just now I have bought them their own. I bought them. My youngest one, I've bought classified, I've bought retro, and the other 25th anniversary and stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely not someone. I'm not a mint on card collector. I'm not someone that will keep this stuff locked up and not let my kids touch it. Yeah, anything they want to play with, except for the vintage stuff, they can play with. Although I've got you see the APC back here, the vintage APC. While supervised, my son is allowed to play with it. So getting the top off of that can be a little tricky, and I really just don't want him to snap those pegs off. So I'll let him play with that as long as I'm the one that takes that top on and off, because that hard plastic, 30, 40-year-old hard plastic, becomes really brittle. So So that's my thoughts on my toys with my kids. And let's see, we've got about 10 minutes left. And Cobra Island, that sounds like an awesome thing here. Cobra Island says he and Joe Motion Videos 82, which is another channel here on YouTube I recommend, are doing a month-long Ninja Month collaboration in May. If you want to see it, we are doing a collaboration with a twist. So, guys, mark your calendars for May. That sounds awesome. I am all aboard the Ninja train. So, if you saw my most wanted retro figures, you'll know what you'll know what I'm talking about. And Chris has a question here, which is pretty loaded. This is a loaded question, Chris. I could do a whole video on this. He's asking, what are my thoughts on the live action G.I. Joe movies? Actually, I need to watch them again. It's been years since I watched either of them. Both of them, I would say, not as good as I would hope. There are some good things about each of them and some really not good things about each of them. I will say across the board for both of them, I think Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow were well represented. I think maybe more so in the second one, even more so in the second one. I love Jinx in the second one. So I can't really, it's too much to go fully into that tonight, but maybe I'll do a whole nother live stream just covering that, and maybe I'll prepare some stuff. I need to watch them though first. I really need to rewatch them so I can refresh my mind about what I like and what I didn't for those. Classic action figures. Those Bishojo G.I. Joe statues look quite nice on the shelf. Yeah, so I've got these three, Lady J, Scarlet, and Baroness. I don't have the repaints of any of them, but I do have those three. Reviews for each of those are here on the channel, and they look awesome. They look great. I highly recommend picking those up if you guys are interested in those. Those are Kotobukiya Bishojo statues. And Chris has another question. Have you ever watched G.I. Joe Resolute from 2008? Yes, I have, and it is awesome. One of the best representations of G.I. Joe in the modern era. If you guys haven't checked that out, I highly recommend. That was originally a series of short videos on Adult Swim on Cartoon Network, and then they've put them together for basically one movie. And it would have been awesome if they had continued that into a series or additional movies after, but it was just a one-shot thing. They did release some figures specifically for that. But yeah, JoJo Resolute, awesome. And Dan says, wow, at 8, he's done with toys. Yeah, unfortunately. Believe me, I don't force anything on my kids. Like, I don't force, all right, you're going to sit down, you're going to play with this toy and you're going to like it. Same thing. Like, I don't like put a football helmet on them. So you're going to go out there and you're going to play football and you're going to like it. I don't force my kids. I may strongly encourage them to do stuff, but if they don't like it, like if they try a sport and they don't like it, I'm not going to force them to keep doing it. So yeah, he's done. The youngest one, yeah, he's actually got the youngest one. He goes through phases, and a couple of weeks ago, he went through a big G.I. Joe phase, and I've actually got his room set up with G.I. Joe stuff. We took down. He had superhero stuff up. We took that stuff down. I've got G.I. Joe wall decals up now on his room. He's got a G.I. Joe blanket on his bed. He's got some pop figures on his dresser there. Maybe I should do like a little tour. I mean, it's not a lot, but maybe just like a little tour of his room so you guys could see. And his favorite G.I. Joe is Snake Eyes. And he likes Storm Shadow as well, but Snake Eyes. And also he likes the ones that, what he says, they come with a pet. So Junkyard, Law and Order. Anyone that comes with an animal spirit comes with freedom. Classic Action Figure says G.I. Joe Renegades was also pretty cool. G.I. Joe Renegades was really a sleeper. Unfortunately, it premiered on the Hub Network, which was Hasbro's attempt at their own TV network. And it just, I think it was mismanaged. And I only saw in its original run, I only saw a couple, maybe 2 episodes. And I think they changed the day and the time for it, or my schedule was too busy. Anyway, I lost track of it. Didn't see it again until years later. And it is an awesome show. I highly recommend it. It really felt like they were building to something really cool. And I think I heard that they had plans to bring in more characters in the seasons after. So in the first season, you know, they introduced one by one, they kind of introduced like Snow Job and Barbecue, you know, over time. And then eventually these guys will all come together to really form the G.I. Joe that we know, which has, you know, a lot of members. But yeah, I highly recommend G.I. Joe Renegades. And Gaz, you bring up Tubi. Yes, Tubi. If you are not familiar with the app Tubi, I highly recommend checking it out. TUBI. It's free, and they got a ton of stuff on there. A lot of these classic cartoons that I've never seen. So I was actually able to watch all of the vintage G1 Transformers show, which I hadn't seen all of it. I was able to watch that whole thing on Tubi. Tubi, I believe, still has The Real American Hero, and they had the Deke cartoons. I think they might still have them on there, and I think they had Resolute on there too. And I actually just started the other day. I started Sigma 6, which I have never seen before. G.I. Joe Sigma 6, which is an interesting show. A lot of different designs on there. And so I highly recommend checking out Tubi. It's free. It's an app. If you're streaming anything at all, just download it onto your streaming platform, and you can really get lost in all the content they have. Oh, Chris has a good question here. What are your thoughts on the Russo brothers directing a G.I. Joe movie? I think it'd be awesome. I think it'd be great. They Captain America is my favorite member of the MCU, favorite character from the MCU. They did a great job on the Winter Soldier film. And did they direct Infinity War and Endgame? I don't remember. I feel like they did. But yeah, I think they would be awesome at doing a G.I. Joe movie. They've done ensemble stuff, and I think that would be great. Cobra Island has Renegades, Sumbo, and Deke on DVD. I do not have the Renegades. Renegades is actually available on Blu-ray, but I do not have Renegades. I have the other two though, and I need to get Resolute. And I know it's available on Tubi. I'm a physical media guy. I like having physical stuff. I gotta show this from Gaz. Gaz says, I never understood the purpose of Lowlight coming with that single bullet. He's talking about the modern version of Lowlight, Pursuit of Cobra. Lowlight. I mean, yeah, he's a sniper. I get that. But that tiny little bullet is begging to get lost. I think Mike from What's on Joe Mind has called that pre-lost. It's an accessory that's so tiny, you know, it's pre-lost until the second you open it, and then it's gone. Especially if you have any kind of carpet. It doesn't even have to be thick carpet. Any kind of carpet. You drop that bullet, it's gone. I still have mine because it went right into like a Ziploc bag and sealed it shut, and I don't think it's come out since then. I mean, it's awesome that they could do it. they didn't really need to do it, but I think they got the record for smallest action figure accessory ever. You can't really get any smaller than that. And guesses I lost mine the first day. That sucks, man. I'm sure those bullets are going to be, I haven't looked. I don't know what the aftermarket price is on one of those bullets. Hey, action figure experts. Hey, man. Be safe. Catch you next week. All right. So I'm going to start wrapping it up here. It's about 10 p.m. Eastern time. Real quick, guys, my favorite MCU film, Winter Soldier, is up there. It's really good. I like the first Captain America 1, the first Avenger. That was awesome too. I really liked Infinity War and Endgame. Those are probably, I would have to say, my favorite ones. So I want to remind everybody, so I have super chats enabled. So it was starting tonight, but again, I think anytime going forward that I'm doing a live stream, you should be able to do a super chat, which gives a donation to the channel, and 70% of that comes to me, 30% goes to YouTube. That's just the way it is. And if you're comfortable with that, whatever dollar amount you feel comfortable donating, I would appreciate it. And so that's one thing. Second thing is I'm going to be doing my best to make this a weekly event. So starting next Sunday, not Monday, Sunday, not sure what the date is on that. I'll do announcements for it, but next Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, come back here and I'll be doing another live stream, and probably going to be covering maybe any news that I might have missed during the week, G.I. Joe news. I'm going to try to have some guests come in. I did a live stream a little while ago with HCC 788. That was a lot of fun. I think people really enjoyed it. And it helps me not be the only one talking the whole time. I think also getting another perspective on stuff is good. So, I think that's my plan, and having something on a regular schedule that people know when to tune in will be good. And I've got a couple things lined up. I've got a couple things that people have sent me. Bill, I got your Bill. You're here on the chat. If you're still here, I got your package. I have not opened it yet. Bill sent something to me for me to look at, I believe, here on the channel. And Gaz also sent me something. I have not received it yet, but when I do, you will definitely be seeing that also here on the channel. And I got a couple other things. They're not here with me, but a couple other things that I'm planning on reviewing. So at least, I would say at least one or two review videos, hopefully this week. And if I don't see you before then, everyone have a safe week, and I will see you next week, Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thanks, guys, and yo, Joe.